Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Daily Fix. I am your usual host and presenter, Advocate Tudo Hoyani. This morning, all roads lead to Bloemfontein. We will be closely watching developments in the Free State High Court this morning, as the Thabo Bester case is supposed to begin today. Thabo Bester and Nandipha Magudumana need no introduction to South Africa. This is the unlikely pair of the criminal who was sentenced to life imprisonment in 2014 for murder, and the medical doctor girlfriend Nandipha Magudumana. So this morning, we are expecting the trial to kick off. You'll recall that there were many stops and starts due to the many applications that the two of them were bringing up. Let us start with Nandipha Magudumana. Nandipha Magudumana launched an application in the High Court, in which application she alleged that she had not been extradited to South Africa. In other words, she had been abducted in Tanzania, where she had been found with Thabo Bester and repatriated to South Africa, and that was not a proper extradition. So she launched an application in the Free State High Court, which was ultimately turned down. She went on to the Supreme Court of Appeal, and that was also turned down. So the two are back in court this morning. Thabo Bester, on his side, has launched a series of applications to say, the conditions under which he's held at Kgosi Mampuru. Thabo Bester is incarcerated at Kgosi Mampuru. The conditions that is, incarcerated under there are subhuman and so on and so forth. So there have been those delays due to those, interlocutory applications or applications, pending the trial itself. So those applications caused delays here and there. But hopefully this morning, everything will kick off. What do you expect to happen this morning? This morning, we expect the prosecution to call its first witness. We don't know at this stage who that witness will be, but the prosecution has got a case to prove here. Let me just give you an overview of the charges. There are 8 people in the Free State High Court facing charges of aiding and abetting the escape of Thabo Bester from the Mangaung Correctional Center, usually or popularly known as the Grootvrei prison. There's also the charge of violating a corpse, in that a corpse was smuggled into prison and disguised as Thabo Bester, and that is how his escape occurred. So this morning we're expecting the prosecution to come up with his first witness to prove some of those charges. But it will be very interesting to see whether the trial or the case actually gets off. The most interesting thing is this is probably the first trial of this kind in South Africa, in which a high-profile prisoner like Thabo Bester simply escapes out of a correctional facility and is on the run for well over a year before he gets arrested or before, correctional services picks up the fact that, actually the person who was supposed to have died in prison was not Thabo Bester. But there are very interesting issues around this trial. Let me just give you a hint of what I think really happened there, or what is going to unfold. You see, this is not an escape. What is an escape? If a prisoner escapes, ordinarily if a prisoner escapes, a prisoner will, through his own initiative, without any assistance from anybody, find ways and means of evading the law and getting out of prison. How he does that, well, that is up to him, the logistics of it and everything. But he'll embark on that escape without necessarily being held by anyone. So in the Thabo Bester case, the interesting thing is, was this an escape, or was it aided and abetted? And it will appear that, there are several people, the G4S accused, because G4S, will remember, had a contract to manage the Mangaung prison. So there are G4S people who are involved here, who are supposed to have aided and abetted this unfortunate escape from prison. And, the way in which it was executed, this aspect of violating a corpse, that is going to be, very, very shocking testimony when it comes up. But there we are. The Thabo Bester case is kicking off today, and we look to some very explosive, testimonies from those that the prosecution will call. The case is supposed to be before just the Judge President of the Free State, Judge President Musi. And Judge President Musi is a no-nonsense judge. I'm sure that he's going to put his foot down tomorrow, because there have been so many stops and starts in this case. And I'm sure he's going to put his foot down to say this trial has got to get off and start in earnest. So we are expecting that, testimony is going to be coming up this morning, and we'll see the trial unfold. Now, as the trial unfolds, I'll be giving you an update on a daily basis and the analysis thereof. In other words, depending on how many witnesses are going to testify this morning, we'll look into the evidence, and and I'll try and give you an analysis of what the evidence is all about, so that we are on the same page, and until the trial comes to an end. So finally, Thabo Bester is before court, and the partner Nandi Phamagudumane, and some 6 other people, because there are a total of 8 people who are facing charges in the Free State High Court this morning. So let us wait and see those developments this morning. And having said that, let me say that in the next episode, I'll be covering whatever transpires this morning and give you an overview and an analysis of what has happened, and we'll take it from there. But having said that, let me thank you for the views that I'm seeing. Let me thank you for the subscriptions that I'm seeing. And please have a nice day.